Hello. Our dearest loved ones. Nice to talk to you again and know that you are there, that we could be friends. Some are already friends. Hello, friends. Future friends. Hello, future friends. Yeah, it's just there are some nice news I would like to share with you, especially with my own God's disciples, lawyer friends, and awesome assistants for the Supreme Master Television so that you can enjoy, the whole world can enjoy. Now, ask me what's the good news. I have, yeah, good news and bad news. So, the good news first, hey? Good news always makes us happy, yeah. The good news is that 5 days ago, we had another victory over another unpleasant word. It's called the disturbing peace word, meaning the word that is specialized in disturbing other people and other words. And that word is almost like the fighting word that we had just kind of dissolved. This word also has no souls. The entities here have no souls. And they have 958,922 entities total, including leaders and subordinates. They have no souls. No souls. It's easier to demolish these kinds of words because they are in astral-like forms, meaning they don't have physical, touchable body like what we have in this physical domain. Even then, I say it's easy, meaning meaning what? Meaning easier than here. But it doesn't mean that it's completely that easy. I wish it was so easy. Even then, with God's grace, God's will, and many assistants, such as His Majesty the Karma King, meaning the king who manages the karmas of all beings, and with His Majesty the King of Security. We have so many kings in the universes, and I don't have enough time to write it all down for you. Besides, I don't think it's very necessary. Most of these kings, they are benevolent, and they have absolute respect and love for me. Yes, because I'm the king of kings of kings of kings. And also because I am the king of Dharma turning wheel. Thus, I also have power to eliminate some of them when they make trouble and disturb other worlds around them, especially when they disturb this world, because this world has less defenses. You see, it's more helpless, even though the people, the beings in this world have so much power, so much power. It's like gazillionaires, but they don't know that they have it, because either they are too young, like a baby, or a child that cannot have any power over that immense property, immense financial richness, or that they are not made to be aware of, or they are deliberately made to be unaware of, like our humans in this world, that the Maya web is cast over them, so they don't remember much of where they truly came from and what they truly are as great beings, the children of God. Now, not to worry about that. Some of them want to wait for eons and eons upon eons before they realize that. No matter how much we tell them, they will not understand and they will not want to accept it. It's hard for them. So we just have to let it be. Remember, there's a film called Astro City, where the doctor died, and then he went to another world full of very unfriendly or nasty and fighty beings in the astro dark domain. The astro level has 100 20 plus different domains belonging to the astral level of consciousness. Some are very bad, like hell, and some are lower heaven, some are higher still, some are magical, full of magical abilities, some are just fairy-like, yeah, and some are benevolent. The astral world is next to our world, so sometimes the astral beings can come and go to our planet and make trouble or do good. It depends. Oh, one moment, my battery is running low. I come back in a second. You see, we have overcome many obstacles and have won many battles. But still, this world is a complicated place and we can't always win, or we cannot win enough yet. But the day will come that we will have more power over all these obstacles and Maya illusion. Remember long ago I told you that the zealous demons world with their king left the battlefield, meaning they're not fighting anymore with humans or any other beings on this planet. They retired and went to the African mountains. Remember? That's one word. And many, many months later on, another world also left this battle fighting. They went to the world beyond the third level of consciousness, yes, meaning forever liberated, they went there. And other words, never mind, some are smaller and some are bigger. It just takes some effort and time. And the most powerful and the most hard to deal with is surprisingly the human world, our world, your world, full of humans. And then humans also sometimes make mistakes and degrade themselves into the quality that they have been too much attached to or entangled with. Like in a lower world, animal people world, then they became animal people. And then they came back and forth, etc. Yeah. So it's difficult to kind of elevate them all at once, or in one go. Yeah, difficult like that. But we've been there, we've been winning, even though it was a very, very terrifying and exhausting battle. The disturbing peace world entities, they are stronger than the fighty world. The fighty world, they're also generally fighting among themselves. They have their give and take or something. And that's their mentality, their quality, their makeup, their vibe is of those fighty beings. So they keep fighting with each other and then they fight also with whoever's nearby, like our world nearby. Our world is very near the astral world, and therefore many of the qualities of the astral fighty world or hellish world also influence our planet a lot, influence the mental, physical, psychological, and emotional state of being of the humans and other beings in this world. Now we have kind of less and less troubled beings and troubled worlds, which influence and sometimes bully our planet, sometimes make bad influence, sometimes enchant our world, people or animal people, and even trees and rocks. Sometimes the tree doesn't want to, but then some people pass by, branches would break and fall on that person and injure him or kill him. And some animal people, sometimes they don't want to fight humans. They respect humans a lot. But then some bad entity enters their psyche or enters their beings and makes them do things that are harmful to humans against their will. Because some animal people don't have that much willpower. Even though they call humans the crown of the creation, the most powerful of all beings, they still are weak. So sometimes they give in to other bad beings. And then we call these humans like possessed or enchanted, or they become lost to the devils, or maybe they sold themselves to the devils. Yes. And now, first, if you have a false master, it's not like, okay, you don't worry about it. You should, because that false master, sometimes she is a demon, and she doesn't have any soul. And then they might use your soul to do bad stuff. And slowly, you give in, and then you weak and you die, and they take over the whole soul. And you lost forever. And while you're still living, they will use you to do all kinds of things that are very bad for you and create very bad affinity, bad karma for you against your will. So be careful whom you follow, eh? I have told this for many years, sometimes told different things, including these things. And also recently concerning, that Rumachi, Tangtam, Sanchon, whatever, yes, using people to do bad stuff and create havoc for the country where they reside. Yeah, I'm sorry for Vietnam sometimes. But it's getting better now because we try, to clear the dark cloud over the country. So it's probably having less and less trouble. But the thing is, actually, heavens and benevolent beings are trying hard to protect you humans. And then also bless humans and others a lot. And I could have won earlier, easier, but I don't have much help from the humans. That is the thing. If they truly help, indirectly, like become benevolent, don't kill others, don't kill animals, people, don't damage the environment, we could have won long ago already. And I could probably have gone home already and taken a rest and enjoy my life. Yeah, nevertheless, we try until the last minute. In Vietnam, we say còn nước, còn tác, meaning even if there's a little water left in the pond, you still continue to extract it and put it in your field. In Vietnam, many areas still use the old traditional way of planting rice, for example, yeah? And in their field, they would have dug a pond, a small pond in the corner, and the water is so clear, so clean, oh, beautiful, and so cool. Sometimes we went there, we go inside and take a bath when I was a kid. And there would be two farmers, either man or woman. They have some instrument like a bucket, but made by, nowadays maybe plastic. I don't know, but in my time they used just bamboo to make a basket, and then they just scoop the water from that pond and just put it into their rice field and just do it manually like that. So a bowl of rice costs a lot of labor work. Now I'm grown up, I appreciate things more from the farmers. When I was young, I just didn't think too much, didn't feel grateful or anything. Nowadays, even if I drop one or two grains of cooked rice on the floor, I feel sorry because I treasure what I eat. Especially in some difficult situations, cooking is more difficult than usual. More difficult than when you have a room, or an apartment like before, yes. I also live sometimes in a more frugal situation, like in the Himalayas. Sometimes in the Himalayas, in very high mountains, even if you cook with some wood, it doesn't boil very fast. Sometimes not at all, just warm up because it's too cold. So when people go to such a high Himalayan mountain, they must have very big log of wood, to live on all day. Or they have to have a strong, powerful gas stove because there's no electricity up there. And they use the snow, clean snow area to cook in a pot. Otherwise, you can't have food up there. Just eat raw. Sometimes I had to eat raw. So I was very happy, I was happy. And I am grateful to God's grace and all the masters to make all that happen, that we have victory. And I'm thankful to all the gods and goddesses and all the deities, all the heavenly armies, and His Majesty, King of Karma, His Majesty, the King of Security, for example, etc. They were very helpful. So when I say I have a victory, it doesn't mean I alone did it, but we are all together as one entity. So I could say that because they're one with me, like one hand together. Yes. And I also forgot to tell you other things. After we defeated and destroyed the fighting world, so much cheering came to my attention. And they say, love from your loving world, love from your loving world, love from your loving world. They say that to me. Of course, we have to thank God Almighty and all the gods and goddesses and kings in heavens and earth, okay? But I never thought they would say, your loving word, meaning their loving word becomes my word. Actually, this world has been created, long, zillion years ago, before humans came into being. And even though they have more entities, more population than the fighting world, they are not made to fight, so they didn't know how. You see, they have very powerful vibes. I have created them to put in this world, to keep this world powerful, in harmony and peace. But slowly, humans also came from other dimensions. And then they slowly became coarser and coarser in their manner and being, became more and more physical. And with the physical bodies, the brain, the environment, came the necessity to live in a physical domain, which they are not used to. Originally, they were not physically solid like what the humans are right now. They could fly anywhere. They didn't have to eat anything. They were always happy together. Until slowly, the atmosphere of the environment affected them. And then they saw things growing around the planet. They ate them, and they became coarser and coarser. And so they became the so beautiful humans that we are seeing right now. When we see a beautiful girl, a handsome man, we say, oh, they're beautiful. But they're nothing compared to how they look like before. All right, those are sad things, but never mind. They can become divine again, because inside them there is a wonderful instrument that will help to bring them back home, to the heavenly home where they came from. But because it's been such a long time and they are so submerged into this kind of coarse vibration, they couldn't find their way home. They couldn't remember where God had bestowed upon them a kind of divine instrument so that they can use that to go home. So at the time of initiation, I have helped you to open it again. Now you know. Right. Since zillions and zillions of cowbirds, with my energy, peace energy, they are created with God's grace and God's permission and God's love, of course, to bless this world, before humans existed. Because we all know that sooner or later humans will change their quality inside and outside, and they will become different, and they could not help themselves. So the more peaceful it is for them, the better for them in this world. But then they created their own energy, not as peaceful as when they first came. And then slowly it became more intolerable for them, also with the force of Satan, the fallen angels, or we call them demons, devils, and then it became worse and worse for humans. And they could not bear it, so they called for help, they prayed. So God has sent masters to this world again and again. to save the souls that want to go back home, that are desperately in need of salvation. Other humans, maybe they don't feel that need yet, so they still hang around, and try different things. Some things are good for them, some things are bad for them. And the masters have to always come down, suffer with them, rescue them, help them, uplift them, but sometimes die in their hands. Sadly, you know that. And because after we eliminated the fighting world, the loving world became liberated. Because before that, the fighting world was not just fighting with each other, but sometimes they got together and disturbed the other world around them, and they were oppressing the loving world very, very much, that they call for help. Because they are not born to fight, you see? They are loving entities, loving beings. So they cannot fight, they don't know how. So it's easier for the fighting world to oppress them and abuse them. Finally, in desperation, they call for help. So we came and saved them, freed them. When they were freed, they all came and say, "Love from your loving world." I never thought any words mine anyway, but they feel like now that I own them, or they own me, something. So they say, "Love from your loving world." At first I was taken aback. I said, "Your loving world? My loving world?" They say, yes, we are yours. we are yours, you know. They were cheering like that. It sounds easy to win, but it was a very, very fierce battle, you know. Even though in the astral world, meaning in the invisible world, apart from this world, only in this world we can see, we can hear, we can touch. If any beings don't have the human body like the humans here have, then it's easier to take care of. It's not always easy, of course, but nevertheless, I feel like it's much easier than taking care of this world. Oh, now we remember Paramhansa Yoganandaji had a master. His name was Guru Yukteswar. And after he left this physical dimension, he went to the astral world and was appointed to be a teacher of the astral beings there, in a good astral being world. So when he came back and talked to Yoganandaji, he said that in the astral world it's much easier to teach people. The people in the astral world, they're more sensible, more kind. It's easier for them to absorb the teaching, and he was happy to be the master there instead of here in our world. Imagine that. Ask all the real masters, they tell you the same. Nobody really wants to come here. It's just that out of love and out of God's grace. So they come down and help the suffering and desperate humans who want to go back home. But they suffer so much. None of the masters have it easy. Only the fake ones, or the ones that have nothing, no power, nothing at all, no name in heavens anywhere, and they call themselves Master Ji, Guru Ji, whatever. They don't suffer much. They cash in a lot. They have many followers because they are similar, you know. Just the real masters, they have too many rules for the disciples in order to detach them from entanglement in this world, such as the disturbing this world, or the jealousy world, or the greedy world, or the possessive world, or the fighting world. For example, like that, yeah? And many humans don't like them because following the false master or the no power master is so easy. They just tell you, okay, now you are my disciple. That's it. You give some donations, the more the better. That's it. And then you become a disciple. And then you have a so-called master or teacher. You call them Guru Chi or Satguru, whatever. Satguru means real master, but they are not real. They're not even masters at all. They understand nothing. They have no power to liberate you. And they could be harmful to you if they are connected with the devil world. And they will give you that kind of energy, and slowly you become like them. And then you can't go back to the human world even. You go to the devil world, suffer even more. Or do many bad deeds. The more bad deeds you do, the more you will suffer, now or later. So these are the loving world, or the fighting world, or the disturbing peace world. They are not physical. Maybe some of them appear like humans or some animal people or something, but they don't have souls and they can't stay forever in that make-believe human body or any animal person's body. They originated from energy, bad or good energy generated by humans or other beings on this planet. The energy can manifest into human body or not, or just astral bodies. But they have power because power is energy. Energy is power. So, for example, nowadays they can make air into water, yeah? You don't see gas, but if you know how to capture it, how to store it, then you can make use of it to heat your body or to cook your meal or many other things. That's what it is, yes. And like the sun power, the solar power, you don't see it, but you can catch it, store it in solar panels and store it in battery, like what I'm using now. Then you can do many things. You can contact the whole world. Without these solar panels, I would not be able to talk to you or send anything to you. I could not even do any work for Supreme Master Television behind the scenes. I could not watch a Supreme Master Television on the computer or on the nursing phone. It's incredible already. Just the device as big as your palm only. And you could even catch, television from thousands or hundreds of thousands of miles away over the mountains, rivers, and oceans. You can talk to your friends or relatives, loved ones from the other end of the planet, or even to the moon, or soon, perhaps, to Mars people. Or to Mars location, yeah. Long time ago, I talked to you about that, about Mars situation, yes. At that time, I was thinking whether any of you believed what I was telling you. But now you do, because they even photographed it. Oh, it's incredible. They could photograph underground. Even though they couldn't go underground in planet Mars, they still took some pictures, and it looks like there were cities down there, just the way I told you. So sometimes we use a lot of manpower and scientific instruments in order to capture a photograph. But if you practice the Quantum method that I have taught you, you can see it from, you don't even need a UFO to go there and look. You can see it from your bedroom, or from the back of your yard, or from your attic, or from the tent. This is a power that humans have. All humans have it. All humans with soul have it. But they just forgot how to retrieve it. That's a pitiful thing. They are like multi gazillionaires. But comparably speaking, they're just like beggars on the street. So the thing is, slowly humans have become different from the original state of their being, and then they even mixed with other lower hybrids and became even more different, more distant from their original glory and goodness. And thus they create bad vibe, bad energy, bad happenings in their own environment and suffer. And because they are God's children, they have God within themselves. So if they do wrong, they do sinful things, they do know it, even though they don't confess or they don't admit it. At the time of their departure, everything that they did, bad or good, will return to them. And they will just judge themselves. Thus, they create hell or similar hells have already been created by other hybrid humans before them, and then they will go there and stay together, enduring such unthinkable pain, suffering, sorrow, and horror. Some seem to be punished forever even. This is a very heartbreaking scenery if you see it. Sometimes God doesn't let you see it. Some people who die and met a representative of heaven in this form of Lord Jesus also can see something, but many of the most horrible, non-relievable, never can be freed from it. God doesn't want good humans to see it. The entity, the divinity in the form of Lord Jesus or the form of the Buddha, as known to the human who's been privileged to be shown hells or heavens, that benevolent entity that looks like Lord Jesus or Buddha will not let this privileged person see the worst hell of all in the universe.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, humanitarian, and artist. To learn more about her compassionate life and teachings, please visit suprememastertv.com/master.